Amari Cooper was the second most fantasy points by a player this season.
You mentioned Amari Cooper. Have to shout out a friend of mine who went 13-0 in fantasy football this season. 13-0. And let me tell you, he talked smack every single week. So obviously he gets the number one seed. He didn't lose. Gets the bye week. And then this week was the first round for him of the playoffs. Guess what? He lost, baby.
To Amari Cooper?
No, but the reason why I bring up Amari Cooper, it's even better. He had Cooper on his bench.
Oh my God. What?
He had Mike Evans and Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's who he started. And then he had Amari Cooper and Puka Nacua on his
bench. Oh my God. Who are flexes? This is insane. That's the reaping sowing meme.
You got to stay absolutely humble until you get that championship. Welcome to the opening bell of the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. I'm Trevor Sikkema. That is Connor Rogers. Hoping everybody out there had a wonderful Christmas, a happy holidays. Appreciate you guys joining back in on the show as we get things kicked off with one more week before the new year. And for this episode, just one, but we promise we're going to make it up to you because this one's a doozy. Connor came up with this idea and then we kind of collabed best ways to make it incredible. And we think you guys are going to love it. What we are doing here on this show is we are going to predict the final NFL draft order for the non-playoff teams with 2 weeks to go of the NFL season. And then with that custom predicted order, we're going to give you guys a mock draft with it too at the end of the show. So a lot of fun that we're trying to pack into this one episode that we have this week. Connor, how you doing, my friend? And how was your holidays, my friend?
It was great. It was great. It's always, Christmas is always a lot of fun, man. Even when the Jets on Christmas Eve played the slowest game of my life. It was like the first quarter was over and they'd been playing football for 3 hours. And I'm like, man, everybody's going to hate me when I walk in hours and hours after dinner, but it is what it is. That's life working in football. You know, I love it. So things are well. I appreciate you giving me credit for this idea, even though I really just came up with the grand idea with no idea how to make it work. And you have a beautiful way to make it work from a visual standpoint. So the good people, if you're listening, you will understand it. But if you're watching, I think you're in for a treat.
Yeah, definitely. I think that this is going to be a lot of fun. So what we're going to do here on this show is we're going to use playoffpredictor.com. And you guys, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see us work through all of this. We're going to go through the next 2 weeks of the NFL. And Connor and I are simply going to pick winners and losers. And we'll kind of talk about the teams, obviously, where they are. It won't be a super deep dive like a game preview or anything like that. Some will be quicker than others, but we're going to pick winners and losers for every single game over the next 2 weeks. We will then have a final draft order. Like it's going to spit out, given our results, what we think the final draft order is going to be. We'll then customize the PFF mock draft simulator, edit the order there, and we'll go in and we'll do a mini mock draft for you with as many playoff teams as we can while keeping this, considerate time, because we don't want to be here for 9 hours. I know you guys probably listening would want us to be here for 9 hours, but we can't do that. It's still a little bit of a holiday for us. So we're going to get to as many as we possibly can. But Connor, I'll pull this up if you're ready for it. You want to just
let's rock and roll. Yes.
Okay. I will pull this up on the screen. And this is what we have here over at playoffpredictor.com. So Connor, lo and behold, first game that's on the list.
Can't escape it.
I didn't pick this, which, by the way, can I just say this? My fiance's family, diehard Jets fans.
Oh no, I didn't know this.
So I was watching the Jets game. What did they go up like 27-0?
It was in like 5 minutes. They scored more points in 5 minutes than they did in the last 7 games.
Watching Washington come back to then take the lead. Brother, we ran the full gamut of emotions. The Jets are the greatest. They're going in the right direction. This is the worst franchise I've ever seen. And then, they end up getting the dub. So I just had to mention that to you on the show that I watched that game.
I'm glad you got that experience.
So no, it was a full roller coaster. So anyways, okay. So we got the Jets coming off with a thrilling victory. They now travel to the Cleveland Browns. What do we think about this one? Who's winning this game?
Browns can clinch the playoffs. I think they will. I think this game will be pretty gross. Honestly, Joe Flacco has been hot. Amari Cooper has been sizzling. I think that although plays to the strengths of the Jets are really good against wide receivers and teams that, have to air it out. But I think at the end of the day, Trevor Siemian won't be able to score enough points. So I think the Browns clinch the playoffs with this one.
Okay, so we're going to go with the Browns. I don't really have too much pushback there from you. Jets have obviously been, sort of feisty at certain points throughout this season, but Browns are a good team, and for them to
touchdown favorites,
the Browns. I think that this is going to – if you've got the lines up.
We'll get the rest of them up as we sit here.
I feel like that would be probably a good way to do this. By the way, while you do that, you mentioned Amari Cooper. Have to shout out a friend of mine who went 13-0 in fantasy football this season. 13-0. And let me tell you, he talked smack every single week. We got a group chat of a bunch of us, and every single Tuesday morning, he would send us, hey, y'all ever been 8-0 in fantasy? Hey, y'all ever been 9-0 in fantasy? Hey, y'all ever been 10-0? So obviously he gets the number one seed. He didn't lose. Gets the bye week, and then this week was the first round for him of the playoffs. Guess what? He lost, baby.
To Amari Cooper?
No, but the reason why I bring up Amari Cooper, it's even better. He had Cooper on his bench.
Oh, my God. What?
So his wide receivers.
Yeah, explain this to me.
It wasn't, and we try in this fantasy league.
6-team league?
No, it's not. It's like a 12-team league. I think 10, maybe it's 10. He had Mike Evans and Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's who he started, who were good, who got him both of them got him 20 points in the 20s. And then he had Amari Cooper and Puka Nacua on his
my God. Who are his flexes? This is insane.
He played James Conner in the flex.
Yeah, so, that was a mistake. Amari Cooper was the second most fantasy points by a player this season.
Don't doubt it. So we all laughed hysterically as he lost after going.
Man, you reap what you sow, brother. I mean, you really do. That's the reaping sowing meme.
You gotta stay absolutely humble until you get that championship. All right, so we got the Browns beating the Jets here. Raiders, Colts. Man.
Yeah. So Raiders are 3.5-point underdogs, although ironically enough, I love the feisty Antonio Pierce Raiders.
I do too.
I think this is more of a coin flip than that spread indicates.
I agree. And I think that the only reason why that number probably is what it is because the Colts are at home, right? And
Colts are at home.
Love
so that gives you 1.5. The other 2 points, I think, come from respect for Steichen, and the Colts pass defense has been very good for the most part. I guess we lean Colts, but I think that should be a lot closer.
I know. I agree. I could go either way on this one. I love Shane Steichen and what he's been doing. Colts coming off a disappointing game. I'll give him the bounce back, and I'll say Colts. I'll go Colts here.
Yep.
Dolphins, Ravens. Holy cow. Titanic matchup here. This one's in Baltimore. What's the play? Can Baltimore lock up the 1?
I don't know if they could lock up the 1.
I don't think they would be able to 2 weeks out.
This absolutely locks up Lamar's MVP.
If they win this, yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a big one on the line. The Ravens are 3-point favorites. I like Miami getting points in this game, but I still don't know if I'm confident enough outright to say they win. Right. I just like that they were getting 3.5 when it launched. I think I would still lean Ravens, but this is going to be a sweaty one.
Yeah.
It should be a pick 'em, in my opinion.
I do agree with you. Man, that Baltimore defense is playing so well, too. All the turnovers that they forced.
No Jalen Waddle, by the way. I mean, they haven't officially ruled him out, but that's gamesmanship. He's not playing on a high ankle.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ravens. We're going Ravens here. New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, all of a sudden, they're hot, baby. They're hot. This one's in Buffalo. The Patriots still stink. I want everybody to remember that. They still stink, over the last couple of weeks. It's kind of looked competent a little bit. Gotten some dubs in there. But, I mean, I have no reservations picking Buffalo. What do you think?
Yeah, no reservations. I think the spread's a little too big. It's 12 points. New England has the best run defense in football for over a month now. So Josh Allen's going to have to throw, which is fine with Josh Allen. They'll be okay. I think the Patriots will try to get them into a grinded out game, but Buffalo should theoretically take care of business.
Yeah, I agree with you there as well. So we'll go Buffalo. Man, we'll pick all home teams here.
Every home team.
We're cowards. Tennessee Titans traveling to Houston. We getting CJ Stroud back?
That's the lingering thing. If Stroud's back, you think this line goes from 4.5 to 7. So we'll go with the Texans here, I would think.
I think that, because even if Stroud has a chance to play here, we're recording this on a Wednesday. I'm going to go Stroud there. Bengals, Chiefs. Chiefs need this one. It's at home. They better win this game.
If they don't, I mean, what are we doing here right now? And the Chiefs are still big favorites. They are 7-point favorites, so we'll go with the Chiefs. Yeah. I know, but how bad they've looked. I know. It's a lot of points.
I guess.
They look really off. They feel like they need
those 7 points must simply be because Vegas knows that Pat is just going to lock the hell in.
Yeah, it's almost like a statement chance at home. And Cincinnati's defense has been in a tough shape this year where you think they can get that opportunity. It's a lot of points, but we'll take the Chiefs.
All right, we'll go Chiefs here.
And we're just picking wins here, folks, by the way. We're not picking on spreads because we're just trying to get to the draft order of this thing.
Yeah, right. Chargers, Broncos. So Broncos recently, today, announced that they are benching Russell Wilson in favor of Squints, Jarrett Stidham, Auburn legend.
I think they're cutting Russ.
Yeah, they're 100. They have to be cutting Russ. I mean, that's the only explanation that they have to because here's the thing, like Russ is now. I'm not trying to say that like Russ is playing great football, but he's playing fine football. I don't think he's playing benchable football. But the reason why you bench him is because he has a injury clause for 2024 or 2025. That if he gets hurt and he can't pass physical in March, he gets an added $37 million that becomes guaranteed onto his contract if he can't pass physical in March. So if you're even thinking about cutting him, you're probably going to bench him. But if you are benching him, then that almost plays your hand anyway. So Brad Spielberger, our cap guru over at PFF, he wrote an article basically spelling all this stuff out over at pff.com. And he had a tweet that kind of encapsulated his thoughts in the article. And he said, best outcome for Denver at this point, this is after Russ got benched, a post-June 1 release, first day of the 2024 league year, which pays Russ $39 million for 2024. It is a $35.4 million dead cap in 2024, and then still a $49.6 dead cap hit in 2025. So they're basically just saying, we're eating it. We're eating the contract, and I think that Sean Payton is going to go scorched earth on that entire front office and that entire organization, and I think everybody's basically out. So we already know that Brandon Staley, Tom Telesco are out with the Chargers. Easton Stick, quarterback instead of Justin Herbert. Like Justin Herbert versus Jarrett Stidham, cool baby. I don't know what the price is going to be to get into that game, but can't be high. I kind of want to go with the Chargers, I guess.
They're 3-point dogs in that game.
Just because it's at home? Or has the line...
That's a little bit of it, but it's...
Has the line adjusted for Russ being out?
It had to have. Let me look at what it opened with in 2 seconds. So this one, originally, I had it as... Broncos were favored by 5.5. So it went down 2.5 points from Russ to Stidham, that's about right, like expected.
Maybe we should just give Sean Payton and the defense the bump and just
give him the win. Yeah. And if you're in that Broncos front office, it's like one of those things where you pack a little bit early, packing things up.
Okay.
It's tough. What an ugly scene.
That is rough. Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, Trevor Lawrence with a shoulder injury. They did not look good last week.
They looked dreadful.
Holy cow. Now, we have said on this show that I've certainly been wary of the Jaguars because even though they have had moments where they look great, they also have moments where they don't. It's a very hot and cold team right now, and they're in the valley. They're in the coldest parts, and it's just not looking pretty for them. With that being said, I mean, does Carolina get the win in Jacksonville?
7-point underdogs. Even I think that's pricing in. That's pricing in Beathard starting.
Or as Mike Renner would say, beat hard. CJ beat hard.
That'd be so much cooler if that's how you said his name.
Renner actually thought that was his last name. You know that, right?
Oh, wow. I wasn't just joking.
No, first time he looked at CJ Beathard's name, he thought it was CJ beat hard.
How many words over our lifetime are we taught with a TH? That's so funny. That's great.
I just bring it up every time because it makes me laugh every time. All right, so we still going Jags?
Yeah, 7-point favorites. Although sneaky one for Carolina.
It is.
I wouldn't be. This is one where I wouldn't be shocked at all.
And they're playing a little better.
Bryce had his best game last week.
We'll stay cowards, but
yes,
we'll
stay cowards for the simulation.
Steelers and Seahawks. I'm comfortably going with the Seahawks here.
Okay, that's fine with me. We have picked all home teams.
I know,
but all the home teams are massive favorites.
Yeah. Lions versus the Cowboys. Big game for seeding. Both these teams.
Does it surprise you that the Cowboys are 6-point favorites?
6.
So yes, they're 6-point favorites.
I mean, I was about to pick the Cowboys, but 6.
Did you know?
Was Detroit resting people?
The Cowboys are on a 15-game win streak at home, and the 7 home games they've played this year, they've won 6 of them by 20 or more points. They average 40 points at home, which is the best in the league.
That's insane.
They are a unit when they are home. It's not even like they're good at home.
Damn.
They are historically great this year at home.
Too bad they're going to have to.
That's why Dan Campbell is dealing with one of the more disrespectful lines you'll see. It's justified.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll pick the Cowboys here. It is too bad that they're going to have to play in Tampa on the road in the first week of the playoffs and lose. That is.
I can see that from a mile away.
That is really a shame. That is really.
It was just a month ago. You and I were talking about the Jets and Bucks picking like 11th and 12th in the draft, and I was like, "Oh, Trevor, these Bucks, they're gonna win this sad sack of a division." Yeah,
that is Mr. 3-year, $75 million bacon.
That's exactly right.
Arizona
Mr.
Cardinals,
Geno Smith Part 2,
and the Philadelphia Eagles. I like the way that the Cardinals have been playing, but Eagles are still in a spot where they have to keep their foot on the gas,
and they got to get right. They just don't feel right.
Right. I'm going to stay with the Eagles. Here we go. Here's a road team, baby. Rams at Giants. I'm comfortably going with the Rams.
Comfortably.
Tyrod
Taylor will start this game.
One of the hottest teams in the NFL right now is the Los Angeles Rams, if you ask me. San Francisco 49ers.
Another away winner.
At the Washington Commanders. Yeah, this is another away winner. Sam Howell no longer starting. And we will get to that in the mini mock draft. We'll talk about that a lot more. Because now quarterback is firmly on the table for a team that has a top 5 pick right now. And, depending on how the simulation goes, maybe it's even higher. Saints and Bucks.
Oh.
I have to pick Tampa here.
Yeah.
Tampa
3-point favorites.
Tampa already beat New Orleans earlier this season. The New Orleans Saints are, to me, the most disappointing team of the NFL this year. Just the inconsistency that they have played with and the way that they have gone all in on winning the division this year just to probably come up short. Although obviously if you beat Tampa here this week, it becomes anybody's race going into last week. But I would go with Tampa here. Tampa's actually playing really well. New Orleans is still very up and down. So I'm going to go Tampa there.
The tightest line of the week
is Atlanta and Chicago.
I skipped Atlanta, Chicago. That's my fault.
Oh, okay. So Atlanta, Chicago, not the tightest line of the week.
No, but close. Still 3 points. Chicago is favored by 3 points over.
I have no idea who wins this game.
No idea either. I literally want to flip a coin if I could find one and just make this pick. I have no idea.
Do you have a coin?
I don't.
We don't have a coin anymore.
We don't have a coin.
I have a commemorative Steven Stamkos hockey puck, but it's in glass. Wait, hold on. I have another one. Wait. We have an official Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup champions hockey puck right here, and we're gonna flip this bad boy. This is heads. This is tails. So this will be the Atlanta Falcons. This will be the Chicago Bears. All right.
Perfect.
We're picking the Atlanta Falcons, baby.
Wow.
Arthur Smith is back.
The puck does not lie.
I don't know what he's back from, but now I can't get my camera to.
This one has a big draft order implications, by the way.
There we go. Okay.
Like massive draft order implications this game.
I know.
So it's kind of funny that we had to flip a puck to figure that one out.
Okay, so we're going with the Atlanta Falcons. And then the tightest line of the week.
Packers, Vikings. The Vikings are favored by 1.5 points. they're missing, it feels like their entire offense besides Justin Jefferson.
Is Mullins still at quarterback?
I believe so.
I'm not picking Nick Mullins.
I lean Green Bay as a dog here.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm picking Green Bay. Okay, all right. Just so people can see it, this is now the current draft order with 1 week to go from what we have picked. We picked a lot of the favorites. So essentially, what we have done is kind of gone through a simulation. Like, right, these are the odds-on favorite. This is the highest odds for whatever the order would be after week 17. You guys can see that on the board right now. I won't read it off. We'll read it off when we get to the end for all the audio-only listeners. So let's go over to week 18. But before we get to week 18, got to tell you about our friends over at Fabric, who are all about securing your family's financial future going into the new year. Fabric by Gerber Life. They make it very quick, easy, and affordable to protect your family so you guys can get back to enjoying life. It was designed by parents for parents to help you get high quality, surprisingly affordable term life insurance policies in less than 10 minutes. They've got flexible policies that'll fit your family's budget with quality policies like $1 million coverage for less than $1 a day. You can get personalized quotes in just minutes and then apply whenever it is convenient for you, all online and to your schedule. You can go from start to covered in less than 10 minutes with no health exam required. In 2024, to start the new year, if you haven't done it yet, join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their family and apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/stock exchange. That's meetfabric.com/stock exchange, MEET fabric.com/stock exchange. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. All right, getting back to it. Week 18. This is it. For all the marbles, as they say. Jets. Patriots. We talked weeks ago. We highlighted this very game as one of the most important games left in the NFL season for the NFL draft. Connor, who wins this game? It's at home for the Patriots.
Honestly, this could be a pick 'em when it comes down to it. It could be Simeon versus Zappi. New England's not allowing anyone to run against them. The Jets never beat Belichick. I mean, don't feel great about it. And not to be that guy, but I was saying a couple weeks ago, I'm like, New England has a chance to steal a couple wins here.
I kind of think New England wins this game.
I kind of do too. And what have they done, Trevor? They've won 2 of their last 3. They beat the Steelers and Broncos. They lost to Kansas City. We'll see what happens against Buffalo this week. Like, here's the thing. Let's assume it's Belichick's last game as a New England Patriot.
Mm-hmm.
That he hates the Jets more than anything on earth. You're telling me he's going to lose to the Trevor Simeon Jets as his last game as a Patriot? That'd be despicable. That'd be the most down bad way to go out for a great of all time. That's like the Undertaker's streak being broken.
Yeah. Wait, who did Undertaker lose to?
Somebody stupid.
I remember it was like, okay.
You and I have talked about how we are more Attitude Era and then like a little bit post Attitude Era wrestling. By the time Undertaker lost his streak, I was not watching WrestleMania anymore.
Yeah, he's still undefeated to me.
Same. Like I don't act like that exists. Okay, here we go. WrestleMania win. The Wikipedia of this is great. I thought it was Brock Lesnar.
Is it?
That is so stupid.
Stupid.
Not even like somebody cool.
I mean, Brock was cool in like 2003.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
like after he got cut from the Vikings.
Iron Man match versus Kurt Angle somehow was not a pay-per-view. It was on Friday Night SmackDown.
You just turn on cable.
Unbelievable. Okay, so anyways.
And he apparently lost to Roman Reigns. So he's actually has 2 WrestleMania losses. Boy, I just remember the Brock Lesnar one.
He fell off.
Yeah, that's okay. So I mean, Belichick can't have his Undertaker WrestleMania Brock Lesnar moment.
So we'll go
against the Jets.
So we'll go with the Patriots.
But
I really
don't know. Hilarious if he does.
Yeah, I really don't know who wins this game. I think the Jets are one of the most unpredictable teams in the NFL right now.
You're telling me.
Yeah, it's just will the defense show up and be absolutely elite or not? That's pretty much the conversation that we're having here. I think the floor is low, but the ceiling is also low with the Patriots. However, it's Belichick, so I'm just going to go with him at home. Bills, Dolphins.
Maybe for the division.
This game will then be for the division. If the Dolphins lose in Week 17 to the Ravens, and if the Bills win, this will be for the division. It's in Miami. Man, I don't even know if Waddle's going to be back at that point.
I think
high ankle sprain.
And what capacity will he be back?
And they're going to make the playoffs no matter what. But hosting a playoff game is so important.
Yeah, and you want to win this division if you're the Dolphins. You haven't done it in a while. I a couple weeks ago said I think the Bills steal this division.
We going Bills?
I'm gonna go personally Bills. I understand if you have reservations.
I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, so it only helps my case if the Bills win this. But yeah, I mean, if it was a healthy Waddle, maybe that's a little bit of difference that I like.
The rest of the offense healthy. The Dolphins need to buck this trend of like what has happened to them against this team. That's my takeaway here.
The Dolphins do?
The Bills look right. Yeah, the Bills smashed the Dolphins this year.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's one of those, I need to see it before I believe in Miami against this team.
All right, I'm going to go Bills. So they win the division. Wow. Steelers, Ravens.
Ravens have anything to play for in this scenario? I think we just said this.
They would be, at this point, no. They would not.
Now,
so they would rest all their players.
I'm not guaranteeing a Steelers win in that spot.
Oh my gosh. If the Steelers win this game, that means Tom would be above 500 again.
Yeah. All right. I think we go Steelers with the note that the Ravens are resting everyone.
All right. So they missed the playoffs, but they go 9-8. Incredible.
And even more amazing, the Ravens go 13-4 and they go 500 in their division. That's weird.
So, yeah, that is weird. Well, we said that the division was going to be very difficult going into it.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to be the case. Steelers 5-1. That's amazing. Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals. If the Browns win, nothing changes. If they lose, nothing changes.
Just go with the favorite as of now with the Browns.
Probably. They're also coming off a mini bye because they played the Jets on Thursday Night Football before the week before. Texans Colts. We assume CJ Stroud's going to be back. I'm going to pick the Texans.
Okay. So that would get them to 10 wins.
And in the playoffs, depending on what happens with the Jags.
They'll make the playoffs.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm going Texans.
I think. We'll get
Jags, there. Titans, I would still go Jags.
Okay.
You think?
I don't know, man. Vrabel pulls, a rabbit
out.
This
could be a Vrabel villain game.
Yeah, 100%. This screams that to me. Screams it to me. Is Levis back in this game? Maybe. Is Levis just jumping over people and truck sticking like he's Mike Allstott? I can see it.
I'm reading something now that says it sounds like Will Levis might be able to play against the Texans this week. So you figure Levis is probably going to play against. He is hopeful to suit up against the Houston Texans. Okay, so
am I nuts for leaning Tennessee?
I mean, I don't hate it.
It really impacts the draft order here too, which that's why I want to be careful here. I don't think it's nuts.
What do we have? The Titans losing on the road to the Texans the week before, and we had the Jags beating the Panthers the week before. Dude, I think the Titans. I think the Titans could win this game.
Jags are still the 7th seed if this happens.
No matter what, yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, no, it still says that here. Unless something...
Yep.
No, I don't think anything.
Still has them as a 7th in our simulator.
Unless... if the Broncos win... Oh, wow.
Yeah, right?
So if the Well, I don't think the Broncos are going to win anyways. Do you think they're going to... I think the Raiders are going to win that last
I'll take the Raiders. That's a revenge game.
If the Broncos won in this scenario, the Steelers would make the playoffs.
Oh, my God.
No, I think the Raiders win.
Okay.
And then
Chiefs take care of business.
The Chiefs are going to take care of business, and they're going to get the 3 seed.
All right.
So headed over to the NFC.
Bucks.
Even with it being in Carolina, I think Tampa wins.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys easy over the Commanders. I think Eagles easy over the Giants. Although when I say easy, Lord knows, division matchups last week of the season, you get spoiled 100%. But
Eagles still playing for something here too.
Oh, 100%. If they don't win this game, Eagles travel to Tampa instead of hosting a playoff game.
So Eagles, that's brutal for the Giants, or better if you're rooting for a draft pick for the Giants.
Vikings, Lions.
I like the Lions are at their home. Goff home.
I don't think anything happens to the Lions though.
Oh, so they could rest.
Yeah, like nothing changes for them.
Mm.
Now, that doesn't guarantee that Minnesota wins this game.
No.
But I think the starters, if you see them, you might only see them for 2 quarters.
Mm. This is where this exercise becomes very hard because the unpredictable nature of who has something to play for and who doesn't.
Right.
But that's the point of the whole thing.
I think I'd still go Lions, though. Okay. They're at home, and Dan Campbell's a great head coach, and I think he's even going to have those guys who are maybe getting a lot of playing time for the first time really motivated to get that. So I'll go with the Lions. Unless Justin Jefferson just goes off for 400, which maybe he will. Bears, Packers in Green Bay.
I think the Bears can win this game.
Oh man, what a Aaron Rodgers reverse the curse.
Yeah, I think
win that
Fields
game
against that Joe Barry defense. I like the Bears. The Bears,
okay.
I think since week 8 have a top 5. They have one of the best defenses in football for the second half of this season.
Dude, what a trade that Montez trade has been.
Phenomenal.
And I did not think that was going to be worth the high second round pick that they gave. I really didn't.
Jalen Johnson's playing, like that defense has totally turned the corner the second half of the year. I like the Bears against the Packers here.
Falcons Saints. This game's in New Orleans. Again, I don't know.
Yeah, I would lean Saints.
I guess.
I don't feel like strongly either way, and also don't care because these teams are not now playoff relevant, and they're also not draft relevant because they've won too many and they haven't won enough.
So we'll go Saints, I guess.
Right.
Seahawks and Cardinals. Man, I think Cardinals could play spoilers like the Titans did.
That would be wild. I don't know. Seahawks have a lot to play for in this spot, obviously.
They do have a lot to play for.
Arizona's defense is pretty rough.
If they lose, nothing changes, though.
Mm.
Oh, I guess if they win. Oh, no, that could. Who do we think? Well, let me check that. Oh, so if the 49ers win, they get the 1 seed in this scenario.
Right.
So they're going to play. They're going to play the Rams tight. Do you think the Rams play spoiler, or would you give it to the Niners?
I think the Rams can steal this one, but I'll still give it to the Niners because they'll be favored at home against them. What do we go at Seattle?
Probably. Oh, man.
You kind of got to lean Seahawks right now with how bad Arizona's been, but
yeah,
I think it's Seattle.
Okay. All right. We'll give it to Seattle.
If it's not, it's a huge spoiler, a big upset.
So. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. That is these 2 weeks of results, week 17, week 18, and the final draft order that we have here. Drum roll, please, folks. For everybody who's listening, audio only, who can't see it on the screen. Panthers have the number 1 overall pick, so nothing changes there. It's the Chicago Bears still picking number 1. Cardinals get pick number 2. Washington Commanders get pick 3. Patriots are at 4. Giants at 5. Chargers at 6. Jets 7. Titans 8. Bears with their original pick at number 9. Vikings at 10. Falcons 11. Saints 12. Packers 13. Raiders 14. Broncos 15. Bengals 16. Colts get 17. The Steelers get 18. And then the Texans and Jaguars, I think, are all. Wait, how would that work? No, did I go too many? Did I go one too many? Why are these teams here? I don't know why these teams are here. It should only go to 19. Am I crazy? Something messed up here. I don't know what happened. I guess it only goes up to 18 because then the Steelers would be the last team that didn't make the playoffs.
Okay.
So it'll go up to 18.
Makes sense.
Right. There we go.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Everybody calm down. All right. We got it handled.
We're panicking. We might have ruined the whole episode.
No, we didn't. Now we're going to plug that order into the PFF mock draft simulator, and we're going to run for you guys a mini mock draft. Before we do that, shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. Easily the most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers, all right? You pick more, you pick less. It is that easy. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you just pick more or less than on 2 to 6 players. So it's got to be different entries. It's got to be at least 2 entries, 2 to 6 entries. These are player stat projections, and you just watch the winnings roll in. PrizePicks even has a reboot policy so that you never have to watch something if a guy gets hurt. Oh, man, all of a sudden you lose. No. Well, no. That's not the case here. For football and basketball injuries, If you have a player who exits the first half of the game, does not return for the second, that player is automatically rebooted. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy sports platform with an insurance policy, people. We got an official one for this week. This is from Eli, again, our producer. Rashad White, love this one. More than 69.5 rushing yards. DeAndre Hopkins, more than 54.5 receiving yards. And Matthew Stafford, he's buying into the rise. More than 55.5 passing yards. So we got 3 bets of more here. Rashad White, DeAndre Hopkins, Matthew Stafford. So those are our 3, but you guys can come up with your own 3 over at Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/NFLSE. Use the promo code NFLSE for a first deposit match up to $100. That is, once again, prizepicks.com/NFLSE. Using the promo code NFLSE, you get your first deposit match up to $100. So free $100 to play with, folks. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy with our friends over at Prize Picks. All right, so let's figure out the best way to do this here. So stop sharing this. And we're going to share a different screen here. Where is the mock draft simulator? All right, we got that. Pulling that up so the fine people can see it over at pff.com. All right, now we got to redo the order. So it's Panthers, Cardinals, Washington, New England. So it's the same as it is right now. Giants, Chargers,
Jets at 7.
Giants, Chargers, Jets at 7. Oops, gotta edit the order here. Jets 7.
I know the Bears are 9. Are the Titans 8? Who was it?
Titans 8, Bears at 9.
Okay.
Yep, got that. And then it is Vikings, Falcons, Saints.
The Fighting Nick Mullins. Welcome to the mock draft.
Vikings, Falcons, Saints, Packers, Raiders, Broncos, Bengals. Get the Texans out of here. They made the playoffs, baby. Get them out of here. Colts and Steelers. Oh, we got the Colts here. There you go. Colts, Steelers. And I think that is it. I think then it would be the Jags that would be next. Yep, and Titans. And there we go. All right, that's it. So we're going to do a 1-round mock draft. Select all these teams with the new custom order that we have here. Not too different from the one that's currently projected, but it does have a couple of new wrenches that are thrown in there. Plus, we get to talk about the Broncos and Washington, who seem to now be desperately into this quarterback market. Connor, we have the Chicago Bears up at number 1 with Carolina's pick. Do you think they deal this?
No.
I'm gonna give us the freedom to trade it if we want.
No.
Okay.
I don't.
So you think that they're still going to go with the quarterback?
I'm not saying that. I think it's blasphemous to bring up the idea of like, what if you trade this pick and build more around Justin Fields? Like, I don't think anyone that thinks that is insane. I'm just operating with what I've seen too many times being around this league and covering the draft. And that is that Ryan Poles will restart the clock at quarterback, take his own guy, not have to make the decision. Do I pay Fields? Do I not pay Fields? And if he grades out any quarterback in this draft higher than what he thought Fields was as a prospect, he's taking that quarterback.
Yeah. EJ Snyder from Bootleg Football, him and Brett released a mock draft. I think it was their first this season. I was listening to it a little bit, and EJ made the argument of kind of like why you go Caleb Williams instead of Drake May. But I also think that argument also goes into why you would go with one of those two guys over Justin Fields as well.
Right.
And his argument was, if you go with the other guy and Caleb goes off, you'll never be able to live it down.
It's a scary,
right? You will.
Why you get paid
truly
millions of
never
dollars.
be able to live it down. And it's the same thing with Justin Fields, except for it multiplies times 2. If either of these quarterbacks, if Drake May or Caleb Williams becomes better than Justin Fields, you will never live it down. And the second that is known, the second that people can accept that, you're out of a job. Boom, you're packing. So I agree with you. I think we go Caleb Williams here at 1.
All right, Caleb Williams at 1. That's been a staple.
Yep.
I will say I was floored to see the odds this week had Caleb, I think, minus almost 650 and Drake May plus 475 to be the number 1 overall pick.
Man.
Right? It feels so far apart, and it's not that far apart.
It's juicy.
I thought it would be like Caleb minus 150, Drake May plus 200.
Yeah.
Not even close.
But
I don't know.
Might have to throw some quiche down on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, if I was a gambling man,
yeah,
and I absolutely am.
All right, so Cardinals up at 2. Marvin Harrison at 2.
Yeah, and with the caveat, right, Trevor, that you could flip this pick to 3 or 4, which is a sweetener. Now, in this, I say we just take Marv, but who's to say Arizona can't get the Commanders and the Patriots to duke it out to come up to that pick?
That is a great point.
Woo.
You know, if this ends up being the final draft order, if it ends up being the Cardinals at 2, we're going to have some fun on future episodes or future video shorts talking about the possibility of either of those teams moving up and what those conversations sound like on the back end to try to play those two teams against each other and more, right? Maybe it's more too, because you got the Giants sitting there at 5. Giants are certainly in that conversation as well. So you could have a major bidding war there for the Cardinals. If the Cardinals get the number 2 overall spot, they are in the money. It's almost a can't lose situation. But for now, no trade. We'll have him going Marvin Harrison Jr., the very talented wide receiver out of Ohio State, which puts Washington. You got to talk for a podcast, Trev. It's what they pay you for. Sam Howell now benched. We're going to have 2 weeks of Jacoby Brissett. Don't think that Jacoby Brissett's going to light the world on fire is going to be the future. So I think they're going to quarterback here, Drake May. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So there you go. There you go, Washington fans.
I would give Jacoby Brissett an unspeakable contract to be Aaron Rodgers' backup next year.
Ooh.
Unspeakable. I'm talking like 1 year, $12 million with incentives. Or after what I watched this year.
Or, you could have just done that with Joe Flacco.
There's so many names.
Sorry, we don't
Not
need
enough time.
New England is at 4. Now, here's the question.
Yeah, you're right. This is actually tougher than face value.
Is Jaden Daniels in this conversation?
Because you know what? I think he's going earlier than we have thought.
Because here's the thing. I think I said this 2 weeks ago when we did the mock draft episode. I feel like Jaden Daniels is going top 10.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. We are aligned with that.
And if Jaden Daniels is going top 10, why wouldn't he go 4?
Right.
What are you going to sit here and tell yourself, well, we'd pick him at 8, but we won't pick him at 4.
Right. That's the dumbest thing.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I think that, okay, you talked me right into it, honestly.
Damn. We just went quarterback, wide receiver, quarterback.
But it's not crazy.
No, it's not. And these teams desperately need quarterbacks. And who are you going to go get? Baker?
No, he's a buck.
Right. And like who at the very least, I mean, shoot, I don't even know. Who are you going to go get? There's nobody who's out there.
No, you're like, what are you trading for Sam Howell? Like,
no, you're drafting Jaden Daniels at 4. That's what you're doing. So we're going Jaden Daniels at 4. Giants up at 5.
Malik Neighbors, done and done. Never been easier.
Never been easier. I mean, there's other guys to consider here, but the confidence in which you said never been easier, I have no choice but to go with it and roll on to number 6. So it's the Chargers at number 6.
So let me ask you this. Who do you like better to play right tackle for the Chargers, Olu or Alt?
I think
it doesn't matter.
No. I mean, that question you'd basically like have to answer with pre-draft visits.
Yeah, I agree.
Trainers, all that kinds of stuff.
I mean, all we know is the Chargers and Jets are taking these 2 tackles.
Yes, correct.
Like, this is a very easy back-to-back. Just put it in the order that you want it to be in.
All right, let's go. Well, look, we gave the Chargers the dream mock draft last week.
We did.
And Joe Alt was the pick there.
We got a key. Did you get the from the mayor, the mail in the letter saying you and I got a key to the city? For that mock draft?
No, mine must be late. So I guess you got your key to the city. I guess mine must be coming. There's no way that the mayor of Los Angeles didn't give me one.
No, you absolutely got a key to the city.
All right, so we're gonna go Joe Alt for the Chargers at 6, and then Olu Fashanu for the Jets at 7.
People are gonna think I manipulated this, but I promise I did not.
It's extremely close. It's extremely close.
Yeah.
These are 2 phenomenal prospects. I think Olu moves a little bit better in pass protection, but Joe Alt is a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, handles the run a little bit better. So it's like it's kind of it's a giant pick your preference. We talked about Olu as the top tackle for a long time, but that is truly it's like the Malik Neighbors conversation. It's almost disrespectful to how good Malik Neighbors is, the way that we unquestionably talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. as wide receiver 1. The way that we have just been like, yeah, Olu Fashanu, he's offensive tackle 1. That does not do Joe Alt talent justice. So I have no problem flipping it here, even to give people kind of a view into where these prospects are and how good both of them are. So Alt at 6, Fashanu at 7, Titans now at 8.
Taliza Fuaga or JC Latham or Marius Mims?
I go Fuaga.
Me too.
Okay.
He's tackle 3 for me right now. I am really excited to do a full tape watch of the tackles this year.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the positions that we're going to get to. We'll either do, I think, corner next or offensive tackle next, one of those two positions. But we get the Bears now up at number 9.
Ooh, man. This is like maybe the most fun situation. I look at Brock Bowers there and I'm like, oh man. But you paid Komet, which is fine. You could play 2. Brock could play the slot.
Yeah.
I could talk myself into Latu. Roma Dunze makes sense.
I would say either Odunze or I got to update this after our edge rusher rankings because Dallas Turner would be next for me.
I know, and I'm intrigued by Dallas Turner there. But
you you obviously like Latu, so do I. But if we,
I think we go Rome because then Caleb walks into a situation where he's throwing at DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. He could grow with those guys. They have Komet, who's good.
Yep. Let's do Rome. I like it. Roma Dunze to the Chicago Bears to give them Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze there as the 1 and 2 picks in the top 10. Minnesota Vikings at number 10. Also need a quarterback. Bad news. Don't know what to tell you.
It's like the scene in The Hangover. Yeah, we fucked up.
We missed. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's 100% perfect. Okay, so
hope you like Kool-Aid McKinstry. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think they go DB.
No, I'm thinking pass rush.
Yeah, D-line.
Brian Flores has been blitzing like no other man has ever blitzed before. And I'm sure for just one game, he'd like to have somebody that just gets home.
I think that's Dallas Turner to me.
Let's do Dallas Turner. He's freaky enough that he could easily go in the top 10.
Because Hunter's actually playing well, but what's Hunter's contract? What do we got here?
I mean, he's a beast, Daniil Hunter.
Oh, last year in his contract.
Okay.
So he'll be 30 years old next year. Yeah, I mean,
he'll probably get like the Von Miller deal, right?
I would be able to say yes more confidently if I knew off the top of my head what the Von Miller deal was.
Oh my God, it's insane. Hold on one sec. Obviously did not age well for a variety of reasons. It was a 6-year, $120 million contract.
Wait, you think he's getting 6 years, $120 million?
Well, let's talk about the guarantees. $45 million was fully guaranteed at signing. Yes, I think Daniil Hunter is absolutely getting that.
Oh, okay. I think they're going to draft a pass rusher either way, though. So I think we should go Dallas Turner.
Okay.
Oh, which absolutely robs the Falcons sitting here at 11.
I'm cool with Latu or Verse for them.
I'd go Verse.
Or you know what? We just keep it going. Arthur Smith takes Brock Bowers and he doesn't use him. And you just accumulate an offensive stockpile of elite talent that has no usage in fantasy or real life.
I hate you.
Everybody's on board.
I hate you.
Georgia fans are happy. Oh, they got our guy. Oh, he doesn't play.
No, we're not doing that. I won't let it happen. I won't stand for it.
We got to save society.
I think I would go Verse here.
Me too.
Okay.
Heavy hands.
Jared Verse for the Falcons at 11. Saints are now up at 12.
I could talk myself into a lot of picks here. I could even think Johnny Newton, although they took Brazil last year, so we'll get away from that.
Yeah, I don't think that they would do that. And Latu is solid for them.
They're good on perimeter corner too. So I'm not looking at.
No, yeah, I don't really.
Right, like this is actually kind of a weird one. Do you start to think that you take a tackle here, like Latham?
You could. Ramchick plays right tackle, so it would kind of just be. Do you think Amarius Mims or J.C. Latham could play left tackle?
And Andrews Pete plays there, right? So
yeah, but
he plays guard too.
He's more of a guard.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm definitely taking Mims.
Okay.
Because I think he's the long-term left tackle for them. But I have no problem taking Latham.
All right, you want to go Mims?
I just have to walk away with a tackle. Let's go Mims.
Okay, we'll go Mims here. Where is he?
You passed him. He's way up.
Oh yeah, there he is. All right, so we're going to Marius Mims. No quarterback for you. Sorry, Saints fans. Stuck with Derek Carr.
I mean, I didn't do the contract.
Don't blame me.
I hated it from the day it was signed.
All right, Packers at 13. Also need a tackle.
They do need a tackle. Bakhtiari, it's over for that.
It's over.
It's over for that. Did you see what happened to Jair Alexander?
Yeah, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Incredible. The dumbest suspension of all time.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's okay, relax.
They play the Vikings this week.
Yeah, you might need them.
There's not a game left in your schedule, and I understand it's 2 games, that you need this man more.
That's why you pay Jair Alexander a lot of money.
And they suspended him a game.
Interesting.
This is tanking at its finest.
I was going to say.
At its absolute fun. This is the champagne of tanking.
It makes you wonder. So, with that being said.
Probably Latham?
Probably Latham.
Yeah, he's a good offensive tackle. Because I don't really know who else I don't think they'd go with anybody else. They just stocked up on tight ends. They drafted Van Ness last year. They have Rashawn Gary. They've got some interior guys. You could draft Jason Newton if you wanted to, but
yeah,
I think they've got interior guys.
I like him a lot.
Cooper DeJean could make sense because he could play corner for you.
I like the DeJean fit a lot there for sure. I still am more comfortable with Latham. That's what they do. They're going to beef up the trenches.
That is what Green Bay does, doesn't it?
Beef.
Man, corner. DeJean makes so much sense for them.
Fire away.
I'm going to pick DeJean here. And if Packers fans are mad at me, then you can let me know in the comments. You can find these hands in the comments.
Choose wisely.
Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, I'm 6'4", 240, remember?
Yes. Pod doesn't forget. Johnny Newton?
Yeah, probably, right?
Right. This defense has turned it on.
Man.
They really gotten it going.
Where do they go?
Especially on the back end.
Whoa. Do they go Bowers?
They just took Michael Mayer.
Oh, they just took Michael Mayer. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
All right, we'll go Jason Newton here. The Denver Broncos. I'm picking Bo Nix.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
You have taken full control of the mock draft simulator.
Who else are you going to pick? Wide receiver?
I mean, I would take Penix, but we've done this exercise 1,300 times.
Now it's PFF pod. We got to stay true to the PFF board, which happens to be me. Oh, what do you know? Look at that.
It's a full Dr. Evil moment.
You just love when the plan comes together.
My goodness. God.
Look, I'm going Bo Nix. And for everybody out there who might be rolling their eyes, hating it, Bo Nix, legit NFL arm, has RPO ability. Obviously, a crap ton of games as a starter. He's going to be 35 when he gets in the league. No, I'm just kidding. He's not. But he's going to be one of the older prospects. But he's got a ton of experience. Really,
he's going to need Tommy John surgery by the time he gets to the league. His arm's out.
He's going to need a hip replacement when he gets
through too many screens. He needs Tommy John. His elbow tore.
Bo Nix is good. All right, I stand by it.
Stidham is going to be their starter next year
over Nix. Just the Auburn connection.
Over the world. Wow.
Did Bo Nix take Jarrett Stidham's job?
He's been around long enough that is actually probably possible. Yes, he did. This is Stidham's 4th year in the league.
Right. Hold on. I'm looking at this. Okay, he was at Auburn from 2017 to 2018. That had to overlap Nix. This could set up just a giant FU as well. Okay, so no, he was at Auburn at 2019. So he didn't technically take his job, but he took over for him.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to happen once again. I'm going Bo Nix to the Denver Broncos.
Just sitting in the locker room like, hey, bud, remember me?
The Bengals, this pick could not be easier. It's Brock Bowers.
Cool.
The fact that Bowers made it to 16.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. I think
nothing short of a Christmas miracle, but I'll give it to you, Bengals fans. Probably losing to Higgins, but you're, finding one Brock Bowers. Colts is 17.
Okay. We are looking probably, if we want to go BP, I'm kind of intrigued by Nate Wiggins here too.
Oh yeah, Wiggins still here.
Yeah. they've taken a lot of flyers at corner over the years, and they've had a couple guys be okay, but like they need an actual dude.
I like Wiggins.
Yeah. I think I'm going Wiggins.
Okay. All right. We'll go Nate Wiggins here. CB1 off the board. And then the Steelers for the final pick here. Pick 18.
Man, it's crazy Latu's still on the board, but
I think really Latu, I really like Latu a lot, but after watching him under the microscope, if you will, for our edge rusher rankings, I think he's probably going to be a mid to late first round guy. I think this is going to be range for him for even as
especially with the medical too.
The medical is going to go into it, and I don't think he's going to test very well. And I think there's going to be a lot of other edge rushers in this class that test well. I think Burst is going to test well. I think Turner's going to test well. Chop's going to test really well. You just got guys in this class who I think are going to test really well, and Latu's numbers are not going to stand out in that regard. I bet he's going to be either like a 50th percentile kind of an athlete, maybe a little bit less. He's still a great pass rusher. I just don't know if the league's going to draft him as high as his production warranted from the last 2 years.
That makes sense.
Anyways, Steelers are up at 18.
They need a corner.
Probably Kool-Aid or Arnold, whichever one you want.
I actually had Arnold like 2 spots higher than Kool-Aid on my last big board, but it's going to come down to what you kind of prefer. Porter and Arnold is that's a nice 1-2 for the future.
Yeah. I like it. All right. Let's do it. Let's put Terry Arnold to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is the last non-playoff team in the custom order that we had there. A little bit of a recap because the order is a little different. So just to make it a little bit easier for people. Carolina at number 1 took Caleb Williams. Arizona at number 2 took Marvin Harrison Jr. Washington at 3 won the Drake May sweepstakes for the second quarterback in this draft. But then it didn't take long for the next quarterback to go off the board. Patriots at 4 took Jaden Daniels. Giants at 5 took Malik Neighbors. Chargers at 6 took Joe Alt. Jets at 7. Collusion from Connor to get Olufashano at number 7. Talise Fuaga, the offensive tackle from Oregon State, going to the Titans at number 8. Romo Dunze, wide receiver from Washington, going to the Bears at number 9. Dallas Turner, edge rusher from Alabama, going to the Minnesota Vikings at 10. Jared Verse, the edge rusher from Florida State, going to the Falcons at 11. And Marius Mims, the offensive tackle from Georgia, going to the Saints at 12. Connor wants us to make sure that people know that he did not, in fact, sign the Derek Carr contract. So can't yell at him for that. We had Cooper DeJean, the defensive back, going to the Packers at 13. Jerson Newton, the defensive lineman from Illinois, going to the Raiders at 14. Bo Nix, quarterback from Oregon, unseating Jared Stidham, or taking over Jared Stidham once again in Denver this time at number 15. Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia, going to the Bengals at 16. Nate Wiggins, the corner from Clemson, going to the Colts at 17. And then Terrion Arnold going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the corner from Alabama, at pick number 18. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. That was a fun little exercise.
It felt like we built something.
It did. I always love when we get to, I feel like we don't do that as much once the season starts, you know?
No, we don't. In the summer, we're constantly. I mean, we made an entire franchise over in Europe with a mascot that was like a beer mug. I mean,
we're in the imagination factory in the offseason.
Yes.
But we don't get to do it. So there we go.
It was good to be back.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic to be back. Guys, let us know what you guys thought of our picks, which set up the custom draft order for the end of the season. Then, of course, the mock draft as well. Let us know what you think is going to happen over the next couple of weeks. Let us know what team needs are going to manifest for your team. And in a couple of weeks, when we do another full mock draft with the final solidified order, we'll be able to go back through all this as well. So we love to hear all the conversations from all of the teams, and hopefully even the ones that we didn't do for the mock draft this week, you get to get on it too, because we talked about whether your team's going to win or lose over the next couple of weeks. We would love to hear from absolutely everybody, whether it's takes on our takes or you're getting yours out there. The best way to do that, YouTube comment section, youtube.com/@NFL Stock Exchange. If you are audio only, you can hit us up with your opinions on X as well as Instagram to @Tampa Bay Trey, @Connor J. Rogers. Before we get out of here, want people to know that NFL fans, it is time to unwrap nonstop football action this holiday season. Even though Christmas is over, throw down on the big matchup with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This week, the new customers can bet just $5 on the NFL and score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now with the promo code PFF. New customers can bet just $5 on NFL action to score $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings with the promo code PFF. The crown is yours this year. We already talked about some of the games that we like over the next 2 weeks with our with our win-loss segment earlier in the show. So you can kind of build off of that if you want a guideline for kind of what we think is going to happen with these games over the next couple of weeks. As you get into DraftKings, you can get on that. Gambling problem, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, you can call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problems with gambling at 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after they are issued. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources as well available at that site. Connor, got anything else before we get out of here?
That was a fun one. I think it's going to be also really cool to look back at this in 2 weeks and see some twists and turns that we weren't ready for, how it'll shake it up, and we'll have plenty of reactions to the finalized draft order of the non-playoff teams as well. So I'm looking forward to see where it goes, Trevor.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch what happens over the next couple of weeks. Of course, the playoff spots are a big deal, but with as many teams that need quarterbacks in this draft,
oh man, the
next couple of weeks of wins and losses are going to be great. We're already seeing 2 teams not put their best roster out there. Well, maybe Washington kind of is by benching Sam Howell and going to Jacoby Brissett, but Denver has already benched Russell Wilson. I mean, the craziness that we're going to see over the next couple of weeks. People say it, the NFL is the best reality TV show that there possibly is, and they ain't lying. With 2 weeks left in the regular season, we are so close to solidifying that draft order for the non-playoff teams, and then we can, then the real fun begins. I'm Trevor Sikkema. That is Connor Rogers. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the NFL Stock Exchange podcast. We will see you guys next week.